A very good morning to you on this beautiful sunny Friday morning here. It's quite sunny and bright outside. We have got a few clouds coming about, but it's mainly sunny. So today I'm going to show you, so you're going to make some beautiful pendants, and they are sort of a flower, shaped like a flower with our ginkgo leaves. I love these ginkgo leaf beads because they look like a ginkgo leaf, and they're perfect for petals. So when you're using them. So what I have got for you, I got 4 different kits for you. However, each kit will make you 4 different pendants. I only got a couple of each colorway, a couple of sample of each colorway, but you will be making 4. There is 4 different colors of ginkgo beads in every single one of the kits, 2 different colors of microcrystals. You got the Superduos, you got this beautiful rose cabochons, and you got your seed beads in there as well. So I'm gonna get going with this one because I really want to do it from start to finish for you. I want to show you how to make it. The kits come with a PDF. Very quickly gonna pop you over to the website. So by now you know the drill. I'm gonna go back to the main page, and let's just get rid of this little window. There we go. So you're going to click on jewelry making, come into video tutorials, scroll down, we got loads. And the ginkgo flower pendant I'm going to go into, and there we go. We have got our 4 different colorways. Now we got a really good discount on this today, so please do have a look at it and see. I'll show you in later, but as I was making up the samples, some of the sort of the olivey colors, this olivey color would be really nice with the copper in the middle as well. So you can even, you know, if you get a couple, you can even mix the colors even further, but I'm just going to click in for you to show you. So you're going to be making 4 pendants because you got 4 colors of ginkgo beads in each one of the kits. You got your microcrystals, you got your Toho size 11 seed beads, Superduos rose cabochon beads. All you need is a needle and thread. Right, I'm going to come out of this one and going to come back down. Hang on. There we go. There we go. So this one is the blue mix, and I love these I think they go called Jet Azzurro, these ginkgo beads. I think they're really, really nice. They got this like so lovely shine to them. So the next one is the charcoal mix, which is more so this is I don't know, I keep getting drawn to this sort of khakis and this beautiful sort of hint of green colors, but it's equally got sort of grays in there, and it has got this beautiful sort of olivey color, khaki color in there as well. But this is why I said if I had taken the copper middle and added it into that one, it's really just sort of shine through, and it would look really good as well. Maybe a demo with that one. We mix 2 colors. Right, this one is the copper green mix. So again, you got green and then you got a darker green in there, but then you got the copper, you got a couple of different microcrystals in there, and last but not least we got the purple mix, which has got another couple of colors of purple ginkgos in there as well. But let's get making. Shall we mix the copper with that one? I know it's a bit naughty, like demoing with 2 different colorways at the same time, but I think that would look really nice in the middle of that one. But very quickly I'm gonna say hello, good morning Anastasia, Lisa, Mina, good morning, Joanne, Sue, Sheila, morning, and love. Right, okay, so I'm gonna grab it out. Shall we mix the 2 colors? So I'm gonna do the copper middle, but I'm gonna do this really dark, this beautiful khaki color ginkgo leaves. I'm just gonna grab them out. As I was making up the samples yesterday, I was like, oh, that would look really good. But it's all sorts of different colors you can mix. It's a really, really simple and easy design. You need 6 Superduos per pendant. You're only going to use 1 cabochon, 12 of the ginkgos, the ginkgo beads, some seed beads, not many, and The crystals, again, the way how we're going to do it, we're going to start sort of in the middle and build out, and then we're going to do the bale itself, and then we're going to decide if I want to encase it with microcrystal. We could leave it without encasing it, and I will show you how does that look, but we can decide if you're going to encase it in one layer or if we're going to encase it in 2 layers. It's really up to you. Let me just bring this up closer to you so you can see it. So this one is sort of 2-layer encasing, and that one is only just on the outside. With this one you can see the ginkgos more, and with this one you can see more of the crystals itself. So it's really up to you. You can have a little experiment and do a little bit of this or that as well. The sound is a bit low. Let me just move this microphone a bit closer to me then. There we go. I hope that's better now. Right, okay, so I'm just going to grab my beads out. I want that really dark khaki color. It's called Sud Dark Green. That's the name of the color. And I'm just going to get a few out of the bag here. We're going to need pretty much everything out from start. We're going to need our crystals, we're going to need our seed beads, we're going to need our everything out, because pretty much after the first couple of steps you're going to be using all the beads. So I'm just going to take some of these crystals off as well, so I'm ready to use them when I get to that step. So I hope I'm going to push these to the side. I'm going to grab a thread, thread my needle, and we shall get started. So you're going to start with the Superduos. You're going to start right in the very middle. I'm going to pick up, this is the hardest part of the whole project, is trying to thread your needle. So there we go. We don't need so much thread because we're not going to be using too much for this one. So I'm going to pick up 6 Superduos. Now, once again, whenever you're using any 2-hole beads, I like to kind of sort of look from above, look down on them, just make sure there is no blockage in the other hole. Can I zoom in a little bit more? So I'm going to pick up 6 of these, and then I'm going to take them down. I'm going to come through all 6 of them one more time. And then I'm going to knot my tail end and my working end together. Usually I don't recommend that, but with this one we're not going to be returning into this middle. We are starting out here, and apart from we will have to take the tail end through a couple of beads so we can trim it off, we don't really need to come back here. So if the knot goes into the Superduo, it's not so much of a problem because we're not going to have to come back through it later on. Right, so I'm going to go through another couple of beads just to sort of be away from my knots. Sometimes you can do it at the same sort of stitch, go to both of them. Sometimes you have to do them separately. Now the next step we're going to do, we're going to add our little cabochon on the top. So I'm going to sew it to these 2 beads here, which is kind of sort of the opposites there. Can we zoom in a little bit more? Yes, there we go. So these cabochons have got 2 holes themselves. So there's a hole there and there's a hole underneath it. So what I want to be able to do is to pick it up by the top hole, and then I'm going to jump on the other side, come through the opposite Superduo, then come back through this bottom hole and go back up in the hole I am just coming out of. So I'm going to go through the top, and then I'm going to come down on that Superduo. I'm going to pull this up nice and tight so it sits there on the top. I'm going to go back through the bottom hole. Now I quite like to reinforce this and go back a couple of times, just to one more time go through this cabochon just to have a really nice and tight finish on it. Just pull it up, there we go. So I'm just going to go through one more time just to reinforce my thread path here and have a nice and tight finish in the middle there. Once I've done that, I'm gonna sort of step out because I've been working in the inner holes of the Superduos, so I'm going to step out to the outer hole. So I'm going to come, I'm coming out of this Superduo here, facing upwards. I'm going to come down through the same one to the 3 holes. So I stepped up to, and I'm just going to cut my tail off, leaving probably about 6 inches, just sort of I can thread it and take it through a couple of beads before I trim it later on. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to start adding the petals, and this is where we're going to add the back petals and the front petals at the same time. Hi Carol. Hi Anastasia. This is when we're going to add the back petals and the front petals at the same time. And the petal, a petal is a Ginko, and 3, I'm just moving this on the other side so I don't have to reach over myself. A Ginko and 3 of the microcrystals on the top, so we can turn around, so we get this sparkly end to it. The only difference we have between the front and the back petal is 2 seed beads before and after we add the Ginko. So I'm going to add a back petal first, so I'm going to pick up 2 seed beads. I'm going to pick up a Ginko from the thinner to the thicker end. I'm going to pick up 3 crystals, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to let these come down, and then I'm going to come back through the 3 hole on the Ginko towards my middle. I'm going to pick up a couple of seed beads and then come through that Superduo once more, the same one I was coming out before adding it. So I have got sort of a loop around. Now this is going to be a back petal. The next petal is going to be a front petal. So the front petal is always between Superduos. The back petal is always on top of the Superduo. We sort of lengthen it so it sits away a little bit. So I am going to pick up 1 Ginko because I'm adding a front petal, 3 crystals. I'm going to take this down, and then I'm going to come back to the other side of the Ginko, and I'm going to come through the next Superduo, sort of going round, and I'm going to pull this nice and tight, just sort of untwist it, my thread twisted here a little bit so it sits nice and straight. There we go. And then I'm going to add a back one, so picking up 2 seed beads, 1 Ginko, 3 crystals, picking this down, coming back through the 3 hole, picking up a couple of seed beads, and then coming through that Superduo, and then I'm adding a front one. So I'm pulling this to the back, and I'm pulling sort of the which is closer to the middle to the front. Next I'm adding it without the seed beads, so just Ginko and 3 crystals, coming back through the Ginko, through the 3 hole, and then through the next Superduo, pulling this up nice and tight. There we go. Then I'm adding a back one, so 1, 2 seeds, then the Ginko, 3 crystals, taking it down, coming back through the 3 hole, picking up a couple of seeds and just coming through. So I'm going to repeat this all the way around, alternating with the back and the front petals. It can be, it's alright if you hold on to it. It's not really fiddly, but just make sure you pull your front petals to the front and your back petals to the back. and coming through the free hole. I love Ginko beads. I love them. We did that bracelet with them as well. They just fit together so nicely. Such lovely beads to work with. So each kit is going to make you 4 pendants, 4 different pendants, because you got 4 different colors of Ginko beads in there. And 2 different colors of microcrystals, so you got plenty of options to do variations. There we go. I'm almost all the way around. So the next one is just the Ginko, because I'm adding it to the front. Judy is saying, hi Kitty, and everyone sits at the back of the class. Anastasia is asking, I'm totally lost. How does some have seed beads at the bottom and the other ones don't? So because we want to create a 2-layered flower, so we are doing both of the layers at the same time. So some of them you're going to need to be closer to the center, and some of the petals you're going to need to be further away. So we are adding some of them without any seed beads, so they're nice in the middle, and then the ones with the seed beads, they elongate them so they sit further out. That's why we're doing it, and we are alternating it between the two. So the back petals are go on the top of the Superduo, and the front ones go in between the Superduos. So not along the back petals, a little bit further out, but they are in between the front petals as well. If you added them, you could just add the front row on first and then do the back row, but you still would have to go through the front row once more time, like the whole of the thread path, to be able to sort of get to the back row. Because if I come out of that Superduo there, let me just pop it there and see if it focuses. If I come out of that Superduo there, I still have to go up through this Ginko and the crystals and come back down to be able to add the next one here. So it was just kind of easier and quicker to add the front and the back rows at the same time. I did try a few different ways how to kind of sort of add it together, but this one was sort of the quickest. And you alternate starting with 2 seed beads or starting without seed beads. So adding 2 seed beads or having it very close to the middle. I hope that answers your questions. But if you know, please do ask. If you have any questions, please do ask. I am very happy to answer. So the next one, I'm adding 2 seed beads on because I want that petal to sit further out. I'm going to take this down and come back through that. Two seed beads. And then I'm adding the final front petal. And taking this down. Just pull that tight. Now I'm gonna go through the last Superduo here, but I want to work on the back next. So as I'm going through the Superduo itself, I'm gonna stitch to the back, and I'm just gonna quickly turn it and make sure I didn't go to any beads. And then I pull this up, just double check the front that I didn't get the thread come on, tangled up, there we go. And just pull this up nice and tight into place. As I pulled it in, ended up on the back, but it's not a problem because I can go ahead and sort of just wiggle it to the front. So I'm just going to pop it down, just double check it that all of these are sitting nice and straight, and then I'm going to turn it around and work on the back for a second. We're going to do the bail next. It's quite nice just having the crystals at the end as well, how it works around. Now to reinforce so they're not so floppy, what we're going to do, I'm going to turn to the back. I'm coming out of that Superduo right there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go up through these 2 seed beads. And I'm going to pick up 3 seed beads. And I'm going to go down on the next 2 on the side of the next Ginko, then into the Superduo at the bottom. Just get the tail out of the way, and up the side of the next. So we're going to add 3 seed beads, which we're going to add our bail on as well later on. However, what these 3 seed beads do, they just kind of link the back petals together, so they don't, so they kind of remain, they don't move around, they remain in the same place. Did I get a knot? I think I got a knot. No, we're good. And going up. How can it be like some days when you do beading, some days you don't get a knot at all, and then on some days all you get is knots all the way along. There we go. So I'm just going to keep adding this to just making sure it's not wrapped around any of the beads as I go around, adding those 3 seed beads in between the petals, and that will link them together. There we go. And picking up another 3. Going through the Superduo. Up the side of these 2. Picking up my final 3. Get this tail out of the way. We could have taken the tail through a couple of beads right at the beginning and just trim it off. Right, I'm going to go through the Superduo, and I want to come to the tip of the next seed beads, next set of seed beads. So I'm going to go through 4 seed beads. You remember what I just said about knots? Sometimes, there we go. So I want to go through and come out of the 4th seed bead. So that's 2 I had there and 2 out of the 3 I just added. And we're going to do the bail next. And then you can decide finally, after you've done your bail, that how much more crystals do you want to add onto your pendant. So I'm going to come out of the 4th seed bead there. I'm going to pick up 2 seed beads, and I'm going to come through that single seed bead from the other side again, so these 2 seed beads kind of just sit on the top of it. Then I'm going to go through the one of the new ones I just added. I'm going to pick up another 2, and this is called a 2 bead flat herringbone. I'm going to come down on the bead underneath it and then go up to just there, and I'm going to do this motion all the way along. So I want probably about, well, depending on how big do you want your bell, or what would you like to wear this on. If you're wearing it more on a thinner chain than with a smaller clasp, then you can get away with quite a small bell. If you want it wearing something more chunky with a larger clasp, you have to fit the clasp or the other end through to be able to add the pendant on it. Then do a few more seed beads. So I'm just adding 2 at a time, making this little strip of beads. I'm going to do probably about 12 for this one. You can sort of turn it once you added a little bit to your length, and I usually do. I have it sort of holding it in my hand that I can work up and down once I have a little bit of length, because it's sort of just quicker to go down on one side, then I can hold on to the left side and just sort of come up on the right side. Another 2. Coming down through 1 bead on the left side, going up to, sort of going right across 2 beads on the right hand side, and this just creates this little strip of 2 beads together. I do use this bale a lot on loads of the pendants because I think it's such sort of a little petite way of making a bell. Maybe add a couple more. So coming down there, going up through these 2, and just 1 more. So after adding the final 2, coming down, I'm going to link this to one of the front petals. I'm just going to make sure that's nice and tight. Pull on the last set. Right, so I'm going to hook this bale into the middle crystal of that petal, so it kind of sort of comes from the back to the tip of this crystal. Now if your thread is on the right hand side, then you're going to go from right to left. If your thread is on the left hand side, then you're going to go from left to right. So always starts from the side where your thread is. So I'm just going to go through this crystal, and I'm going to pull this up, and then I need to go back on the left hand side of seed beads, so that crystal has got a connection with both of the seed beads. And I'm going to go take this all the way to the back. Now if you wanted to, you could leave your pendant just like that, with the crystal just at the tip of the little Ginko beads, just the tip of the petals. If you wanted to add more crystal, then I'm going to turn around and come back to the front. I'll show you how to do that. What I love about a project like this, that you can make some with less crystals and you can make some with more crystals, and sometimes the color of the crystal, if it's like sort of really stands out from the rest of the beads, then it's enough to add less, but sometimes when it's more blending in, might want to add more. So I'm going to come back to the front, and to the last seed bead, and to the single crystal. So I just want to go to 1 crystal. So what I'm going to do next, I'm just going to pop this down and show you. So I could leave the pendant just like that without any more crystals adding onto it, or I could go ahead and add more crystals. So I'm gonna link the front petals with the back petals first. As I'm coming out of that middle crystal, I'm gonna pick up 2 more crystals, and I'm going to straight take my thread to the back petal and go through these 3. So this is sort of the next petal, which is kind of sort of just to the side in between. Go through all 3 of them. I'm going to pick up another 2 crystals. 1, 2, and I'm going to go through the middle crystal on the next petal at the front. Then picking up 2 crystals and going to the back on the next one, kind of linking them together. I'm going on the back, I'm going through all 3 of them. At the front, I'm only hooking into the middle. So kind of, when you do that, it pulls the petals closer together. Good morning, Anna. There we go, just 2 more crystals, going through those at the back. I love these micro crystals. They're so nice to work with, and they just add that little bit of extra sparkle. 2 more. So I used 2. I used the middle from the, just need more crystals, from the copper green mix for this pendant I'm making, and the charcoal mix is the one the Ginkos and the rest of the beads are from. So I kind of mixed the 2 kits. I'm picking up 2 more crystals, going through the next beads, and I'm going to do this all the way around. 2 more, filling those little gaps in. So once I get around with adding these 2 beads, sort of linking those petals together, once again I could leave the pendant as it is, and having just the outline of the crystals. It's really up to us how we want to do something. You could do different colors as well, different colors of crystals, because you get 2 in each kit. So each kit, and it's on a really good discount at the moment, makes you 4 pendants, and it's 4 different colors of Ginko beads you get in there. So they're going to be different, all 4 of them. Right, I'm picking 1 more crystal I need to go through, and I'm picking up the last 2. Come on. So I'm gonna go ahead and add another line of crystals in, sort of fill in the inner petals as well, just to show you how to do that. So you added 2 on the back. I'm just gonna pop it down for 1 second so you can see that's how it looks if you just have it on the back. Now if I want to fill in the front as well, I can do that as well. I'm going to go through the next crystal in this front row, and I'm only going to go through the crystals on the front row on this one. I'm going to pick up 3 crystals. Come on, they rolling away on my mat. 1, 2, 3, and I'm just going to go through the next 3. So I'm not going from back to front anymore. I'm staying with the front petals. I'm just following the thread path on the ones which is on there and adding 3 in between all the way around. 1, 2, 3, and going through the next one. 1, 2, 3 crystals, and picking up another 3, and so on all the way around. So you could stop without doing an outline. You could do an outline just on the outside. You could do an outline on the outside and the inside. I haven't tried doing an outline just on the inside and leaving the outside as it is, but that could be an option too. Just picking a few more crystals off my strand. And there we go. And another 3. Don't worry, and I still think, okay, now the ending when it focuses much better. I think maybe it's the camera got warmer. I don't know what's happening with that. But with the kit, you get full PDF instructions. So even if it wasn't in like sort of so much focus at the beginning, with the kit you get a PDF instructions with diagrams. So don't worry. Right, I'm just going to go to the last one. So that's that. So I'm just going to pop this down the front, and the back is outlined with crystals. We could have done the back because there's 2 colors of crystals in each one of the kits, so you could have a color on the back and a different color on the front as well. That would look really good. There's so many different options you got with this kit you could do. So do have a look, and all it's left to do is just to sew the thread off. So I would go through a slip knot and beads and then just trim it, and same on the back, just go through a couple of beads before I trim that thread off. But that's it is. And we mixed 2 colors here because we got the copper from the copper green kit, and the rest of the beads from this beautiful charcoal mix. So kind of mix it so you can mix the pendants even further. We got a beautiful blue mix as well. We got a beautiful purple mix. So in the purple mix as well, you got 2 different colors, and you get 4 different Ginko colors of Ginko's beads in each one of the kits. So that's it for the pendant this morning. Laura will be with you next week. I'll be back the week after. I hope everybody have a beautiful weekend. Natalie's on the way down, so I'm gonna be up to no good with her all weekend, sort of working out loads of kits and bits and pieces and her lives and what she's gonna be doing, and we're gonna be probably chatting too much, but never mind. Everybody have a beautiful weekend, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Take care. Bye bye bye.